Antioch is kind of being reborn. Behind me is a porch that we've picked out of the creek after the last flood. It's kind of like the Phoenix Rising, you know, it is something of the past, but we're using it as an outreach. We're going out to the community places and getting memorabilia, getting the history of our society out here, our little community that didn't wash away. And so we're using this to even advance the message.
You could probably have seen during the floods that a lot of the businesses here were flooded. You know, a couple of buildings were actually brought down. We had a trailer park out here that was actually destroyed. It's gone. People have moved to another area around here, but again, they haven't left the area completely.
This was rural out here. You have to understand that. 50 years ago, nothing was here. In fact, they called the people from Antioch the farmers.
The biggest change I've seen is just the growth, and it's just not what it was 50 years ago.
Was that 72 when the mall opened?
No, 78. It brought in other industry around. You know, you had your service stations go up on corners. The interstate caused a lot of that. More traffic. The outer areas around it began to build up, and then all the apartment complexes and all started to build out. That's a big thing.
The peace and quiet and the scenery. And there'd be some fish out here during the summertime. It's kind of still cold, so there ain't no fish out here now. But I just like the scenery, catching up with friends, and the view.
In the early 60s, if I recall, they began to build a dam. And as the lake began to back up, we would go out around the lake, and we used to go there and fish and swim. And sometimes the church would go down and even had baptisms down there on the river.
Antioch's changed a lot, just a lot of fluctuation of different populations, and I think when there's a lot of change, it's hard for community to establish and hold on to an identity. So I think when you look back and kind of where you came from, it's good for them to get a sense of identity.
Well, actually, I've been working in these for a little over 2 years. You know, we bought the property, you know, right after the flood. This happened, yes, I just drove by over here and saw this big piece of property, you know, just empty over here. You know, I figured, well, you know, I can use this for something. So I bought the property, and then I start working over here 24 hours a day. You know, so finally last year, we finished that project over there in the complex, and now we're working on this project over here with the indoor facility. The neighbors, wow, they come over here, you know, and talk to me all the time how happy they are. And we got a church right here across the street. I mean, they bring the kids over here. They got like 120 kids. You know, the church really happy. They needed somewhere for the kids to play.
Everything has gotten better. We're trying to rebuild, trying to let people get back to how it was before and make it better.
It says you die twice, and you know, it's once when you die and once when people stop telling you a story, and the story of Antioch is not told yet. It's still evolving.